Shalom, everybody. This brother Dave with KJBU, and let me pose a question to you, which brought about the title for this teaching. Are you preparing? Are you preparing against the time to come, or are you comfortable in the now of it all, sitting idle in the comforts of your mind that you built up for yourself? You know, the I'm good, we straight over here, we gonna make it. Listen, make no mistake, this is a war. Every day you awake, from that time to the time you asleep, your accountability to the word is under fire as scrutiny, critical observation, or examination. Now, they say it only matter how far up in the situation you go. Well, we are all in, every bit of the way, from the bottom of it to the top. Check this out. The problem. Deuteronomy 30:19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. For this reason choose life, that both thou and thy seed, the word, may live. Okay, so we see why I made the statement. We all in, all the way to the top, the Most High. We know the Father, Yahweh, sent Jehovah his spirit, his word, which calls us to accountability, and from accountability to active participation, those temps. Now, what type of participation depends on the carrier, but there are things we all have in common. Firstly, the learning and storing of the word of the Most High. All gifts and portions, those temps, must be stored in the vessel prepared for knowledge. How we prep for that, right? Jehovah pushed that teaching through Elder Johnson already. Tithes. So please go get that understanding. But we're going to get there by joining to none other than our Creator, Jehovah himself, who states, Matthew 11:29-30. Take my yoke, my bond, my covenant upon you, and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden, the subject of concern, is light. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So that bond, we know that's that covenant. Now, we're going to join to the Spirit of the Most High, the living God. Not an idol, not nothing everybody else talking about, and not never ever to flesh. Why not? 1 Corinthians 15:50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Right? So why is that important? Numbers 23:19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So we see separation. He's not a man nor from man. He created the earth and everything in it. It is a creation of his. That's a full thought. Stop 2 times. Now, back to prepping. If we pull the facts, we'll know the flesh, that old man in the mirror, the great adversary, must be removed, eliminated daily. We have to shed, which is to depart from these lifestyles of the flesh. And yes, there are more than one. We got to remember Legion, Mark 5:9. And he asked him, what is thy way? And he answered, saying, my way is Legion, for we are many. Legion means great in number, right? So we got to depart, rid ourselves from these ways against. They are contrary to life. And once we enter into covenant, you hear me? The agreement to undergo spiritual surgery, it must be done willingly. Leviticus 1:3. Providing his offering be a living established covenant of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. Conditions. Meaning, you want this. And when you really want something, we both know you'll do it happily for the free. he shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation in the presence of the Spirit of Yahweh. So his way is there. And now that we made this covenant, remember, Jehovah, your creator, is eternal. Proverbs 8:23 and 14. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. So where understanding is, he just 86 that guesswork. He is understanding. So we need to be where he is. We're not guessing how long this agreement's for, because this is before and past the death of your flesh. This is the law. But how will we set up, right? Let's peek at that. Sirach 15 and 14. He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hand the power of his counsel. And that counsel, wisdom, instruction, and guidance. Sirach 17, 5 and 11. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Creator, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, comprehension, insight, and in the 7th, speech, language, discourse, an interpreter, a translator of the cogitations thereof, the thoughts and meditations there. So one who could explain these things. This is all for better or for worse. All outcomes are forged in the choices we make, or against the established decrees, the orders, the judgment decisions, the things put in place for your better or your worse behavior. We will be rewarded either or. By what? The law. But let's keep it moving. 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law pertaining to life for an heritage. And that heritage, a tradition, a birthright, an inheritance. This is the ways, the truths, the commandments, the statutes, precepts, ordinances, your constitution, a body of fundamental principles according to which we are acknowledged to be governed. This is all in the seed, which is the law, the word of Yahweh. So now we go in here. Romans 7 and 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man, a male or female, as long as he liveth. Can't unsee that, right? Know the law. We saw it together. Me and you, your mama and your cousin too. So the man, the male and female, are under this together. Under what? The law, the rod. Right. I got hit in the head, baby. My body different. I'm breathing different. But it's done away with though, right? So let's see what the law is exactly. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So the law and the word is truth. And what is truth? The knowledge of Yahweh, integrity, honesty, righteousness, separateness, uprightness. Did we miss that? Because it's a lot of dogs running around out here pushing product that ain't even well packaged. It ain't wrapped right at all. And the delivery of this nonsense is ridiculous. Non, meaning not, or the opposite of. The least it could make still ain't sense. I mean, if I put a cat in the oven, that don't make it a biscuit, do it? Exactly. So the law been done away with though, or so they say. Right. That's what they say. Proverbs 4, 1 and 2. Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend hearken, obey, to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. That doctrine, we know that's instruction and principles. Forsaken, to abandon, to desert, to beguile, which is to disown. And that's exactly what's going on now. A lot of disowning of the law of Yahweh, really. That was just for them, meaning the fool. Because to the servant, when the joy and understanding of the law begins to take root, we know death becomes you. Things will never be the same again, right? It's going to be some turned up noses. Why? Separation is in. One of these things is not like the other. The alone time increases. Popularity decreases. You get to learn a lot about yourself while you preparing to make a clear and concise choice. Why? Because the law endures always. Baruch 4, 1 and 2. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it, embrace it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. So live in the presence of that light, that you may be enlightened. Right? So is not the moon illuminated? Are we not tasked to reflect the light of the sun? If the moon has a dark side, tell me, how is this beneficial to your walk? Stop listening to everything, right? So we got to come to life, not to speculation. Let's see what that look like when we come to life. Sirach 15, 1 through 4. He that desireth the Creator will do good, and he that hath knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And as a mother she shall meet him, and receive him, comparing a wife married of a virgin. With the bread, the doctrine of understanding, shall she feed him, and give him the knowledge of wisdom to understand. He shall be stayed upon her, and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her, and shall not be confounded. That confounding, that's confused, being put to shame. This comes from lacking the knowledge of the Most High. So all without that spirit of the Most High is in lack. Case in point, Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. Right? So all without knowledge of the law are rejected. I mean, that's straightforward, but let's look at this. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, which is the spirit. Because thou hast rejected my spirit, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that you have forgotten the spirit of your God. I will also forget your children. Right? How you feel about that one? But we pushing though. 2nd Ezra 9, 29 through 36. O Creator, thou that showest thyself unto us, thou wast shewed unto our fathers in the desert, in a place where no male or female treadeth, in an unfruitful place, when they came out of the house of bondage. And thou spakest, saying, Hear me, O Israel, and mark my words, thou seed of Jacob. For remember, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring produce from your labor, fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever. However, our fathers, which received the law, kept it not, and observe not thy ordinances. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine. Let's do that again. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine. Yet, still, they that received it perished, because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. And lo, it is a custom, it's the manner, when the ground hath received seed, or the sea, a ship, or any vessel, meat or drink, that the thing being perished wherein it was sown or cast into, that thing also which was sown or cast therein or received does perish and remaineth not with us. Right? So when the ground receives the seed, the word, or the sea, a multitude, when they receive a ship, a temple, or any vessel, instructions or teachings, or some knowledge, the thing that it was put into, when the vessel died, it died with it. Watch this though. But with us it hath not happened so. For we that have received the law perish by sin, and our heart, so our mind, the reasonings, us also which received it. So we died too, everything. Notwithstanding, the law perisheth not, but remaineth in his force. So, correction, we are done away with. Why? Providing we keep not, preserve not, fulfill not, observe not, uphold, maintain, safeguard, or receive not the law of Yahweh, which is eternal. So, against these false testimonies, what do? We remain in obedience and hold to the way, the law. 1 John 4:6. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us. Hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. This is not a subtle difference at all. These are flat out opposites. One of these things are not like the other. Proverbs 28:4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked. However, such as keep the law contend with them. So there's a struggle. You're going to strive to keep the way of Yahweh separated, to show clear distinction between the two. Those who keep the law and those who praise. They confess the works of the flesh, showcased in these prominent lifestyles. These idols and icons are used to sway the mind, right? So let's see them. Psalm 73:9, 12, and 18. They set their mouth, their message, against the heavens, and their tongue, the cultural practices, walketh through the earth. Remember, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches and mammon. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction, right? So, ain't no ice skating uphill. I mean, you could try it if you want, but I don't want none of that, right? And why is this thing done to them? Romans 8:7 and 8. Because the carnal mind is enmity, wickedness, it's malice, it's against Yahweh. For it is not subject to the law of God, neither in works can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. I mean, how can you please him if you're dead without the spirit? You have no wisdom, having no knowledge of the things you are required to know and do. This is us. dying in doctrines of death because we refuse to consider, to weigh the matter. We prefer interjected flattery and pocket lining for comfort replacement. Psalms 119 and 150. They draw nigh that follow after mischief. They are far from thy law. So we pretend to be separated. We audition for the part, memorize our lines, and revel in the thought of the money we are about to make. It's all about that false shine, you dig? Vain and glorious it is, right? For sure. Jeremiah 5:28 through 31. They are waxing fat, become plump, prideful. They shine, yea, they overpass the works of the wicked. They teach not the cause of the fatherless, the destitute, the unprotected, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy, the afflicted, the poor, do they not teach? Shall I not visit for these things, said the Spirit of Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Pause. Remember when you got visited in your sleep for not doing them dishes or mopping that floor? We knew what was coming because we were told ahead of time and knew it to be true. Now we can imagine. We don't even have to imagine. We can see how he feel about us before he do what he do, even after he told us what he was gonna do. Unpause. 30. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the body. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof? So, after you've been visited and that beat down, then checked in, and you done checked out, all the snot slanging and the boo horn is over. We're going to hop to the end of all of it. Second Ezra 9 through 12. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And they that have loathed, hated my law, while they had yet liberty, you had freedom, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. You spoke evil of it. The same must know it after death by pain. Right. That's enough pressure there to scare the skin off a cat. Me too. For sure. So, we know why we going through what we going through right now, today. We understand that completely. Psalm 78, 10 and 11. They kept not the covenant of their God and refused to live in his law and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Remember, this here is completely avoidable. And I've decided to take the route less traveled for my own good. To do what I'm told happily, as should you. As should you. Deuteronomy 8, 1 and 3. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Spirit of Yahweh sware unto your fathers. And he humbled, he abased thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, messenger's doctrine, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that male and female does not live by doctrine only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Spirit of Yahweh does man live. And there it is, the law. And therefore, Sirach 4:25 and 28. And no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed, be ashamed of the error of thine ignorance. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Creator shall fight for you. Exactly. Is this not what we trying to get back to? I mean, you tell me. Should we not rather live and die for the law than die for everything else? Because we definitely dying for everything else, right? When we could stand together and bear witness in this adopted community that we've been placed in and act accordingly as such. First Maccabees 2:40. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. Is this possible? Yeah, this is currently happening physically and spiritually. Death, prison, drugs, alcohol, prostitution, gangs, homosexuality, video games. You name it, we claiming it. We follow every idol within arm's reach. And it's only getting worse. So, action, active participation must be taken. Let's get back to correction. Deuteronomy 4, 5 through 7. Remember, I have taught you statutes and doctrine and teachings, even as the Spirit of Yahweh my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who hath God so nigh unto them? As the Spirit of Yahweh, our guide, is in all things that we call upon him for. So we need to be more invested, encouraged, and proficient at our jobs. It wasn't tasked to any other, nor will it ever be. Isaiah 9 and 8. The Creator sent a word into Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel. So it's not going anywhere. So what we can do is openly profess like we supposed to. Psalms 54 and 6. I will freely establish covenants unto thee. I will confess thy way, O Spirit of Yahweh, for it is good. For sure. Barak 3 and 35. This is our guide, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it to Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. Right? Seriously. So enjoy your task, your job. That's your portion. We're supposed to be passing through here, not living to please flesh. We have to eat to live and not live to eat. Right? Leviticus 21 and 21. No man that hath a blemish of the seed of Aaron the priest shall come nigh to offer the offerings of the Spirit of Yahweh made by desire. He hath a blemish. He shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his guide. So, no male or female that has a condition of the word of Yahweh spoken by the enlightened intermediary between man and Jehovah shall come close to offer the gifts of the Spirit of Yahweh made by desire. He shall not come nigh to offer the doctrine of his guide. What good is it when it's tainted, right? So Proverbs 21 and 27. The established covenant of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? So we need to continue in our process, learning from these given elders, deacons, brothers, and sisters, right? All stirred according to the word of Yahweh in our prescribed positions, right? So Malachi 2 and 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Spirit of Yahweh of hosts. So, 1 Timothy 5 and 17. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. So, We're going to buy. We're going to believe. We're going to accept. We're going to purchase. And we're going to exchange and sell. We're going to release this knowledge of the Most High amongst each other. So, a catch and release stream. This is edification, self sustained. You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying. Ecclesiastes 5:18 and 19. Remember that which I have seen, it is good and comely, it's pleasing for one to learn and understand, to gain knowledge, and to enjoy the good of all his labor that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which Yahweh giveth him, for it is his portion. Every male and female also to whom Yahweh had given riches and wealth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding by the Spirit, and had given him power to learn thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Yahweh, right? So this shows this gratification when male and female tends to the task gifted to them. These opportunities must be met with diligence, patience, and understanding, all of which, through faith, are exercised thoroughly. 2 Corinthians 5:9. Wherefore we labor that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. So when you know better, be better. And who's not accepting, even in moms and pops crib, when rules and regulations that's presented to you, you doing them? Everybody good. Everybody good then. You hear me? Right? So, but what is the labor? 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman, laborer, that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So we labor to learn and share, that we all receive and grow. That is, we learn the word of the Most High, the seed that contains wisdom, and wisdom is the customs, the language, the tongue, all instructions needed to be successful to complete this collectively individual race that we are in. John 6:27. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that doctrine which endureth unto everlasting life, which the servant of man shall give unto you. For him hath Yahweh the Father sealed. Right? And Jehovah knows what his Father likes, the same way you know or knew what your earthly one did or didn't like. And anything deemed unrighteous is without wisdom, his spirit. And this is no good look. Not for man one of us. Why? This is Wisdom 7:28. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Okay, so this is what we have to do. This is our labor, because in our reasonable service, we also know. 1 John 5:4-6. For whatsoever is born of Yahweh overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth that salvation is the servant of Yahweh. This is he that came by knowledge of Yahweh and the lifestyle of Jehovah, even salvation of Jehovah, not by knowledge only, but by the knowledge of Yahweh and the lifestyle of Jehovah. And it is the Spirit that beareth witness, because the Spirit is truth. Now, understand, up until your expiration date, you've agreed to be a living, breathing billboard of the aforesaid lifestyle in this world for all understandings to see, knowing the activation of this lifestyle of Christ among the foul camaraderie and nonsense of this present world and the cultures thereof draws a weird look. It looked real odd, peculiar to them. Even though I have to admit, I'm happy he sat this before us and gave us this massively incredible part to play. So remember, First Corinthians 3 and 8. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man, male or female, shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So again, enjoy your labor, exercise in your task. Seriously, who is there better than you to do them? Jehovah chose you, not me or any other neighbor, to do your task. It's specifically selected for you. So clean your yard. I'm going to clean mine. Cut your grass. I got to cut mine. But show me that angle you learned to get rid of those weeds, and I'll show you the method I learned to trim these bushes back, so on and so forth, so we can properly walk along the path, right? You get it. You got it. And with that, I'd like to thank y'all for coming out. And the hope I have is that you learned or understood something. And now, as always, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve you. Until next time, shalom, y'all.